All right, Leon, get out of here.
Yeah, on my way to ATL, man, to host the Miller Light Stand Up for Miller. It's Miller Time Comedy Search, man. 4 finalists going to be competing for $10,000. I'll be the host. The judges are my man Marlon Wayans,
Yep.
Ashley Larry, my man Donnell Rawlins, and Michael Blessed, Marasaka, the African king of comedy. So it looks to be a great show. And, of course, last year's winner, LeVar Walker, will be there doing a special guest set. So we're going to do a quick little impromptu Sports Unplugged for all our fans that's been checking us out. So, we always want to give you something every week. So I'm hitting this up real quick before I get on that Iron Bird and get out of here on my way to ATL.
All right, so the story yesterday, because we were thinking about there's not a lot of stuff going on right now.
No, it's a dead time in sports.
And then yesterday happened.
Hold on. I want to say this, though. Tonight might be possibly the worst night in the NFL season. This is where all the guys that are on the bubble be playing. We're going to see terrible football tonight. So, and all of them are playing tonight. Everybody's playing tonight, and we're going to see some terrible football. Starter's going to play one snap, and then after that is some guy who has on number 00 or 01 trying to make the team.
Look at this. You know what? Except for the Buffalo Bills, because your starter for Week 1 probably starting tonight.
Exactly.
Because they need to find somebody who can play quarterback for the Buffalo Bills.
Definitely.
But let's go to Johnny Manziel. Johnny Manziel got a half a game suspension yesterday for this whole autograph thing. Leon, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts is Johnny Manziel gave a big fat fuck you NCAA right to their faces. That's what he did. I mean, listen. The man is Teflon Don on this case because at the end of the day, if the NCAA can't prove that he got money, if there is no paper trail, where people were saying like, well, check his bank accounts. He comes from a affluent family. He can be like, my daddy gave me $10,000. I drive around campus in the Benz. So my daddy giving me $10,000 is nothing. We come from money. It's a big fat FU to NCAA, and quietly, Texas A&M is joining in on the FU too.
Right.
But I say, whether he's guilty or not, Texas A&M had to go with him. They had to back him.
Right.
They had to stay behind him. That's their starting quarterback.
The funniest thing about the whole situation is that the NCAA is saying that their findings say that he took no money. Okay, let's be very honest right here. He took the money.
Listen.
He took the money. Here's the thing, and then there's another thing. The only reason why, because if he didn't do anything wrong, he shouldn't have got suspended at all.
Exactly.
So they're taking a half-game suspension. This is a slap on the wrist. Say, we can't find nothing on you. We know you did something. Just take this.
Why not suspend him the whole game? It's Rice.
Well, people are actually saying that he's going to be sitting out the second half of the game anyway. So he was going to miss half of the game anyway. This is nothing. This is nothing.
It's Rice.
Now, here's another thing. For all those people that are mad and upset, all Ohio State players saying Terrell Pryor and all them, they should be mad. For what? Because NCAA actually found money, found a paper trail. Y'all are idiots. Take what you got. Johnny Manziel.
When they didn't find money, they found them giving up their gold necklaces. It wasn't a sale, though. That's bartering. That's a trade. Fair exchange, no robbery.
You can't do that, though. You know you can't do that.
So, okay, so let me ask you a question.
There's evidence of that.
Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
I'm a player at Ohio State. I take my jersey off at the end of the game and give it to a guy from Auburn like a soccer match. Is that a violation?
I don't think so.
So, all they did...
Two collegiate players.
All they did was take... To me, and this is how I'm looking at it, all they did was take their little golden chains that they earned, that they get for making plays. It's not that the school just automatically gives this to them.
Right.
They get this for making plays, and they say, hey, dude, I ain't got no money, but I got this dope-ass little Ohio State football chain. Can I get a tattoo?
You cannot use any of your stuff.
It's not selling, though. It's a fair exchange.
It's an exchange, but you can't do that. You can't sell. You can't
The
NCAA
is so full of shit because
the only person I say has beef with the NCAA is Des Bryant, who literally didn't break any rules. He didn't break any rules.
He lied. But he lied. He lied
about doing something that's not illegal. So there you go.
But who knows what he did when he went to Deion's house? If Deion gave him anything, that's considered a gift. By your definition of what you just said.
But
if he went over, if Deion paid for the dinner, that's a gift.
Yeah, right.
That's illegal.
You're right.
So that's illegal. But what I'm saying is just the whole hypocrisy of the NCAA, and that's why I'm glad Johnny Manziel gave them a big fat finger and here, take this, and I'm the Heisman Trophy winner. And of course, me personally, I don't think the NCAA wanted to really find anything on them for the simple fact they play Alabama week 3.
You don't want to miss that.
And you don't want to miss that.
You don't want Johnny football out of football.
No.
Plain and simple. You
do
not want that. If Tim Tebow had done something stupid in the offseason, he wouldn't get suspended.
Never.
No.
Now, what I do fear for, if Johnny Manziel goes out and have a bad season, and Texas A&M doesn't play well,
Look here, man.
the coach is in trouble. He's on a short leash. He's on a short leash.
Texas A&M better lose no more than 2 games.
And they can't they better, if they do lose to Alabama, they better be competitive. It better be like a close game. If they go in there and get ran, I'm telling you, what's the coach name?
Tumlin.
Something
like that.
Short leash. Short leash. After the season he had last year, I guarantee you, short leash. You don't know how to control your players. We'll wipe the band. The brother's gonna take the fall.
Real quick, Brandon Marshall's upset because his hip is hurt and he doesn't think the Bears are taking it seriously. He's getting 4 days off.
I love Brandon Marshall. He's bipolar. He's off his meds. There's nothing new with Brandon Marshall. Right or wrong?
You're right.
He's had issues before that caused his family stress and everything. Mm-hmm. Brandon Marshall, when he first came to Chicago, and I hope you see this, Brandon, him and Warren Sapp had the little thing going on, right? They got into it. First thing he did was call WGCI. We put him on the air. Like, we dropped what we was doing, put him on the air. Couldn't get him for an interview since. So, Brandon Marshall, I have no sympathy for you if they're saying, hey, man, suck it up and get your ass out on the field. Your few drop passes, don't blame it on the hip pointer. You just dropping balls. Because he did that last preseason game. He dropped a couple of passes. Yeah, Cutler hit him right in the hands. That all you Cutler haters will blame him for.
Right.
But at the end of the day, he dropped the passes.
And another thing is, he said he doesn't know his role in offense. Yes, you do.
You are the number one receiver. Stud receiver.
Jay Cutler's going to find you
when
regardless.
I can't throw to anyone else, if you are triple covered, I'm putting the ball there.
Exactly.
Most people relish that. Most people want that.
I have no clue what you mean about you don't understand your role in this offense. Your offense is to be.
Well, what was your role last year?
The number one receiver.
What was it?
In an offense that is better.
Anemic.
Than last year's offense.
Right. Last year was anemic, and they threw to your ass 100-something times.
This is a good offense.
That's crazy.
So
I expect to see a lot, though. I'm actually, right now, I'm penciling in. Martellus Bennett will be the number 2 option for Jay Cutler. It'll go Brandon, Martellus, and then Alshon.
Even though he's only had 1 pass thrown to him this offseason.
But I think that's gonna. I think that's because Trustman didn't want to lay out the full Monty. Okay. But now, come game time I think what you're going to see against Cincinnati, you're going to see the full arsenal.
You're going to see a lot of Bennett. You're going to see a lot of Brandon Marshall, and you're going to see a lot of
Forte.
Yeah.
Forte. Who I still think.
I think Forte's going to have a huge year this
year. I don't think. Well, he might have a huge year receiving the ball. I still don't think he's the rusher that the Bears need.
All right.
Anything
else before you get out of here and go to Atlanta?
Man, before I get out of here, great game tonight. I'm going to miss it. Get to see the start of Jadeveon Clowney being the first defensive player in the history. Well, he won't be. Charles Woodson won it, but the first defensive lineman to go ahead and win the Heisman.
Oh, real quick. Yesterday we had a discussion, and this will be a real quick debate right here. Yeah, we had 2 players that retired last year that were probably one of the best at what they do. Allen Iverson,
your friend James is a complete ass.
Allen Iverson and Tracy McGrady.
Yes.
So the discussion started yesterday. Who is the best between the 2? What was the discussion?
The question was, who is the best? Who would you take between the 2? Allen Iverson, Tracy McGrady, in the prime of their careers when they went on those runs and they was averaging 24, 25 points a game.
I say,
who would you take?
Now, my friend James, who you'll probably see.
You'll see him float through
eventually.
Pretty motherfucker.
He said that Allen Iverson is not even in the discussion with Tracy McGrady. I don't agree with that. But I do understand. I personally would take, if I had to take one player between the 2 at the prime of their careers, give me Tracy.
Why?
Because he's 9, can score from anywhere, can rebound, can assist. He does everything.
How many? I would really like, and I know we're using your computer right now, but I would really like to see how many rebounds Tracy McGrady had 6'9" average. He wasn't a mix-it-up guy. He wasn't a guy. Oh no, listen. He wasn't a guy that got inside the paint and mixed it up on the glass. That wasn't him.
He was a more complete player than Allen Iverson was.
I will not say that. If you look at what you're saying, he gives you in height. Allen Iverson was always guarded by somebody bigger than him. Always got to the hole. Probably averaged just as many points, if not more. If not more, could shoot it from behind the arc. Led the league in steals 2 years in a row.
Okay.
McGrady's never done that.
You're
Defensively,
right.
He gives you everything. And was a facilitator, could pass when needed to. But look at that squad. Who was there to pass to? Who was
I
ever to
mean, well,
pass to?
that was the thing about Allen
And
Iverson. He couldn't have another really good player.
as a small guard,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
he could rebound.
Okay.
He was never, and he had something that T Mac never has had as much of in his career as him. That dog, and you can't put that in somebody. Iverson has always had that dog, always,
If we're talking about careers,
and stayed on the court.
If you're talking about careers, exactly. If we're talking about careers, you always go with Iverson. Obviously, I say if you give me one of them, their prime, their best year, give me
But if we match up that best shit, listen, the wheels fell off for Allen Iverson when he started averaging 17 points.
I understand.
After McGrady, that 7-year run that McGrady had when he had them 3 in Orlando and that 4 in Houston.
Right.
After that last year in Houston, his numbers dropped
Wheels.
ridiculously, to single digits.
And the thing is, like you said, Allen Iverson was able to play through injury. Tracy McGrady didn't. His legs fell apart.
And here's my point. Allen Iverson played through injury, smaller player. Allen Iverson probably weighed about 170 pounds, soaking wet with 2 bricks in his pocket.
And what we say, if he was 6'6",
he'd be in the discussion of the greatest basketball player of all time with Michael Jordan. If you take away the rings and all that, just to dominate like they did on the court at his size, you can't name the other 4 mannequins. Him and LeBron James are the 2 players that took mannequins to the NBA Finals.
Dikembe Mutombo is not
mannequin. He gives you nothing offensively. No points.
Ah!
But that's not giving you any points. He gives you no points. And it wasn't that dominant of a rebounder. Aaron McKee, badass feet. Eric Snow, garbage.
Who else was on that team?
Who else? Thank you.
Was Joe Smith on that team? No, he wasn't on that team.
Thank you.
Who was on that team? Who was a power forward on that team?
Thank you.
I don't know what the power forward is.
You know what Tracy McGrady is mostly remembered for? And I'm not saying he's not good, but this is what he's mostly remembered for. Man, it feels so good to finally get out the first round. Well, didn't happen. Your ass got swept. 3, Detroit, put you out of there. Yo, man.
Leon got to go.
We talking about practice.
Greatest rant of all time.
Wu-Tang forever. I'm out.